The Imo State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Declan Emilumba, joins us on the program. A pleasure having you with us, Mr. Emilumba.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, the Imo State government has scored itself high in its performance over the last 3 years, but have you felt the pulse of the people to get their feedback regarding this assessment?
Well, thank you very much. I was watching your program, and I'm happy you also heard the views of some people, including a woman I saw, such a prominent figure like Emmanuel Iwayan in Imo State, who is like the father of Imo State. You heard what he said. And actually, as part of the anniversary celebration of 3 years in office, we did a documentary, which I'm sure has been aired by your network, and they concentrated on getting the opinion of people. And I can tell you that it got across all walks of life, people, the high and low, politicians, bureaucrats, businessmen, ordinary traders and workers, and all of them were full of commendation because they felt no motorable road in Owerri metropolis. And today, if you come to Owerri, you see a lot of difference. Virtually all the roads in the capital city are now motorable. And of course, we don't talk of the signature projects of Owerri and Owerri. These are two roads that has really done a lot in terms of helping the economy of the state. Because Owerri at the Njaba Junction before now, Njaba Junction was practically intractable. Motorists experienced a lot of nightmares there. Some people stayed there for days and weeks, trying to cross. The same thing with Owerri, where they came in a junction. Those plying those roads, remember, and people who came back during the Christmas were full of commendation for the government, at least for the road infrastructure, and so many other areas in health, in education, in terms of attracting federal projects to Imo State, and so many. So people are commending him. People are very happy with his achievement.
Now, with these commendations, would you say that the government's investment in infrastructure has, to a large extent, affected the local economy, helped it grow in the real sense of the word?
Yeah, sure. I give you a typical example. There's a road called Chukwumawaha Road, where we also did a balloon-driven technology that takes care of the flood, perennial flood, during the rainy season. That Chukwumawaha Road was a lot of people didn't know there was still a road there, because for over 15 years it was overgrown by weeds and ponds everywhere, and all the buildings there, real estate suffered. Buildings were swallowed up by flood and weeds and everything. So people lost a lot of their property investments, and so people left that area, deserted that area, and went back to maybe their villages or so. But the governor has been able to fix that road, and they have come back and reclaimed their property, and the real estate, at least at that axis, is booming. The same thing with Relief Market Road. This was the road leading to the major market in Imo State. But because it was also abandoned, it was not motorable, people couldn't pass through there. So the market was definitely not thriving. And property there also lost value. But it has reclaimed the road, and people have come back to reclaim their property, and the market is booming. So in terms of commercial activity in the state, at least it has picked up, because the road network has improved. The same thing that the road that leads to World Bank Market is called President Mohammed Buhari Road. It's a brand new road also, which goes from Port Harcourt Road into World Bank Market. So the major road of Owerri that I mentioned and Owerri, these are trade routes of our people who bring their produce from the villages to the different parts of the state, particularly into Owerri. So these roads have really helped to boost commerce, to boost industry, to boost mobility of goods and services, and is impacting on the economy. Even motorists who are applying the roads are thanking the government, because they don't visit the mechanics workshop every day again. And even with the high cost of fuel that is prevalent in the country, the motorists would have probably charged 3 times more than what they are charging now if they had still been subjected to flying battle those that will continuously break down their vehicles. So it's impacting positively on the economy, and the people are appreciating it. That is the truth of the matter.
Now, we've dwelt a lot on infrastructure. Beyond that, what other areas has the government also invested in the last 3 years?
Yes. There are so many areas. I just mentioned attraction of federal presence, for instance. The governor, through his very cordial relationship with the federal government, has been able to attract the upgrading of a federal medical center in Owerri to a university teaching hospital for Federal University of Technology, Owerri. You know what that means? The upgrading means that facilities will be upgraded, more employment opportunities will be created, and then the economy will stand to benefit for those changes. Also, and I think very, very important too, is the attraction of the dredging of Uguta Orash River to the Atlantic Ocean. Now, this is a federal government project which the governor was able to attract, and the dredging, when it's completed, will link the southeast to the Atlantic Ocean. That means we can now access the Atlantic Ocean in terms of international trade. And that will also lead to the establishment of a river port in Uguta. So you can imagine what that will do to not just the Imo economy, but the entire southeast economy, because our people are basically businessmen, traders, and people who are entrenched in commerce. So that will help to boost their business. That will help to boost the economy of the state and that of the southeast in general. And also, there's a naval base at Uguta, which will ensure that maritime security is guaranteed along those roads. And it will also help to boost the oil and gas business in the area. So these are some other areas apart from infrastructure. And then, in terms of human capital development, the governor is the only government so far, the only governor that has established the Ministry of Digital Economy. And the whole idea is to train the youth in different digital skills. The first phase of training 1,000 youth has commenced, and some of the trainings are ongoing now. And the whole idea is, at the end of the day, these youths will have skills in digital, digital skills that can help them get employment or be self-employed and even employ other people. And so these are other areas, including empowerment of youth. The governor has empowered over 25,000 youths by training them in different skills and equipping them with startup kits to start their own business and so on.
Thank you so much, the Imo State Commissioner for Information, Mr. Declan Emelumba, for sharing your thoughts with us on the program.